It's another beautiful Saturday right here in Lagos. Hello and welcome to Big League Soccer, the program that brings you all the exciting football action from all across the world. My name is Tunde Koiki, your regular anchor, thanking you for joining us as always. And it promises to be a very entertaining edition. I'm not in the studio alone. I have two gentlemen who have a tint of green about them. I'm not talking about Nigerian green, actually Cameroonian green. I'm talking about none other than Nuruddin Obalola, who is to my far left. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, bonjour.
Bonjour. I'm sure it's an acquired accent. It always fades after a few days of Nigerian living. And there's also Kayode Ogundare as well. Bonjour.
It's a player.
Well, these two gentlemen were recently covering the Nigeria-Cameroon matches, both in Uyo and in Yaoundé. Actually, Nuruddin Obalola was live in Yaoundé in the stadium following the Super Eagles from training pitch to hotel to press conference to match day. He watched everything develop behind the scenes action in Yaoundé. So we'll be talking about that in a few minutes. While Kayode Ogundare was right here in Nigeria, you're tracking the progress of the Super Eagles as they plotted and subsequently executed a 4-0 destruction, defenestration, decimation. Whatever have I left out?
Still on the subject.
Yes, yeah, I'm still on the subject of Cameroon. So these two gentlemen have plenty of Cameroonian experience. So we'll be talking about all that and much more. But before we get to that, of course, we'd like to hear what you're thinking regarding all the big matches that have been played all across the world. You can join in the action by using our social media handle right there on the screen. We always want to hear what it is that our viewers are saying. Gentlemen, before we talk a bit of Cameroonian magic, let's talk about the Nigeria Professional Football League. It's match day 38 today. The Nigeria Professional Football League 2017 season. For some reason, they like to call it 2016-2017, but I don't know. It ended in one calendar year. The 2017 season ends today, and we will crown a new champion. There are a few things we know for sure. Enugu Rangers will not defend their title. Gombe United and Remo Stars have been relegated. But there are some things that, and of course, we do know that MFM will play in the CAF Champions League. We do know that as a matter of fact. But one of the things that we do not know is that who will be relegated, who will join Gombe United and Remo Stars. Any team from the bottom half of the table, all the way from 10th, way down to 18th can be relegated. So it's going to be a very exciting day, match day 38 in the Nigeria Professional Football League today. But gentlemen, so far so good. Your assessment of the 2018 season. Let me start with you, Nuruddin. Have you been impressed?
I was impressed up to a point. Then towards the end of the season, all sort of machinations started coming in. I think the last week we had 10, 11 penalties.
14
penalties on the match day.
13 were converted. One was thrown away.
See, penalties are part of football, but that's a bit ridiculous. So that's what I do not really like about the league. But I think I'm happy that we are going to see new champions, first-time champions.
Yes.
This season, it's
first-time continental campaigners as well.
MFN. So that's a good thing. It means our league is becoming a bit more competitive and better. But
Kaide, I don't know about competitive. When you look at the fact that the champion of the Nigeria Professional Football League would have lost at least almost a third of their games, 10 games out of 38 they would have lost. And also, does that sound like a competitive league to you?
I think it does. It does. If a team, despite being on the verge of winning the title, has lost 10 matches, it shows that it wasn't a stroll in the park for them.
I can't think of any league in probably the West.
It shows how
that the league winners
it speaks to the competitiveness of the league.
As 10.
Yeah, it shows that anybody could have gotten beaten anywhere. That's what.
So that means somebody's running away with it.
Yes, there's no runaway winner.
Yeah. Although I'm looking at the points tally and I'm like, so
63 points.
Yeah, that means the winner, the champions, will not get more than 66 points.
Yes.
That's a bit low, but
this is exactly what I'm saying.
It also means it's competitive.
It speaks to the competitiveness of the league.
Or the fact that there's no one true dominant team in the league.
Exactly.
Yes.
Everybody gets beaten on a weekly basis. So
there's most of those losses are away anyway. So that's another thing. We don't win enough away games in the Nigerian league.
But as it stands now, it's Plateau United with 63 points, 1 point clear of MFM Football Club, who have 62 points. Third place, Enyimba International Football Club, two-time African champions, are in third place, while Aqua United are in fourth place. So as it stands now, let's quickly look at the fixtures. Enyimba will take on Katsina United in the final match at the UJ Eswene Stadium in Calabar. Enugu Rangers, defending champions, will be away at champions awaiting Plateau United. Who writes the script? It's almost as if the old is handing it over to the new. I don't know who planned this, but you did pretty well. Gombe United also will be facing Wiki Tourist. Rivers United will be away at Abia Warriors. Nasarawa United will tackle ABS Football Club of Ilorin. Second place MFM, who will definitely be playing in the CAF Champions League next season, will also be away at El Kanemi Warriors. Aqua United will also face Kano Pillars. Niger Tornadoes will tackle Shooting Stars, who are also in clear danger of relegation. FC Farimba at home to Lobby Stars, while Remo Stars will also face Sunshine Stars. Remo Stars already relegated. Gentlemen, let's quickly touch on the team of the season for you. We do know that as it stands, or let's talk about Plateau United. Is there a possibility that they can fluff this?
No.
Stranger things have happened in Nigeria Professional Football League.
I'm not sure.
They've hardly dropped any points at home. On the potato field that they're playing. I did my youth service there, so I have a bit of a soft spot for Plateau United. But that pitch is something. So, and they've mastered it. So.
But the governor has promised them that if they do win the league, that he'll move them to the new facility that's artificial touch.
That's the funny thing. That facility, I did my service 1998-99. That facility was under construction back then.
It's still
under construction
for like, I don't know, but the last 5 years.
Yeah, the interesting thing about it, it's under construction, but the tartan tracks and the artificial playing pitch are ready.
I think Solomon last started the construction, and that was in 1979, 80 or thereabout. So for me, I'm not sure. I even think it's a disservice that you have to wait until they win the league before fixing it.
As an incentive.
So now, wherever you put that team to play their continental games, they will be strangers on those on whatever pitch.
And they've historically played on somewhat a little grass.
Yeah.
At the Rock Palm Stadium. Yes. Let's just put it that way. A little grass. While the Jos International Stadium is artificial.
Yeah, exactly. For me, I think we can do better, and we should do better than what we put on offer. Now already, before they go onto the continent, we are already talking about the likelihood of them not doing well.
Well, hold on. Before we talk about going on the continent, they're not champions yet.
They will be.
But they will.
Can they beat Enugu Rangers?
They will be
definitely
on the continent. Definitely.
Because
MFM are away at El Kanemi Warriors in Maiduguri.
Yes. Apart from
nobody wins in Maiduguri.
Exactly. Apart from El Kanemi being a slaughter, that stadium being a slaughterhouse for visiting teams, the fact was we'll see a replay of what happened with Rangers last season. On the final day, they had to play El Kanemi and they won handsomely by 4-0. So you expect the same thing to happen. You just talk about somebody writing scripts, right? So this is going to be the same. You're going to see
this particular script.
I know. There's going to be a complete whitewash of Rangers on the day. I'm telling you.
Well, MFM, do you have a chance in Maiduguri?
The coach has talked tough over the course of the week, and I think that's just what it is, talking tough. I don't see him picking.
So it's just barking.
Even if they have a chance,
I don't see him taking
the Plateau win negates anything
they do.
So I'm not sure. It's all on Plateau.
But probably the more interesting fight is actually for the relegation places. Two teams were already relegated, and any team from El Kanemi Warriors, Rivers United, Katsina United, Sunshine Stars, Niger Tornadoes, Abia Warriors, Shooting Stars, Wiki Tourist, ABS Football Club, any of these clubs, two of them will be relegated.
You know, without looking at the fixtures, I'm not going to tell you the teams at home will win. So the teams that are away.
So if you're not looking at your crystal ball, you're not looking at the fixtures. You're looking at something definitely.
No, I'm just telling you.
Okay.
So the
teams away will lose. The teams away will win.
The teams away might win too, depending. But the teams at home will almost definitely win.
I agree with him.
So it's the last one. It's the Nigerian league. Nobody's going to play.
Which two teams do you think will be relegated?
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one. Because we are talking as many as 8 teams here.
Like I said, we separated them. The team out of those 8, how many of them will be playing at home? Once you get those ones sorted out, then you look at the ones playing away. Now, luckily, Academy will play in MFM. That makes MFM's job doubly hard. Because El Academy also wants something out of the game.
They can be relegated.
So there are a couple of games that you know that will not work the way we expect them to work. But I think I said this a couple of weeks back that why 3SC, and you know why I'm talking about 3SC,
yes.
Why they are in the spot they are was those 2 points that they dropped against Remo Stars. If they hadn't dropped those 2 points, they would be comfortably out of that spot now.
So, Plateau United. Champions. It's safe to say that?
Yes.
Okay. So, according to our experts, one thing is for sure, Plateau United will be crowned champions of the 2017 MPFL season. So, Big League Soccer will take a short break. We'll be right back with more Nigerian football action.
Complete Sports, Nigeria's authoritative sports daily, is online. For daily news, updates, features and insights into Nigerian sports news around the world, go to www.completesportsnigeria.com. When you want sports news with facts, investigative reports, hard-hitting editorials, coverage of sporting events with a focus on Nigerian sports and personalities, with unrivaled coverage, you can't get it elsewhere. It's got to be www.completesportsnigeria.com. Also available on newsstands across Nigeria. Complete Sports, a total sporting experience.
My name is Pascal Mbe, Kiss FM Lagos. Keep watching Big League Soccer. Hello everybody, my name is Nicholas Ayamede from Radio Nigeria and you are watching Big League Soccer. Keep it locked.
Thank you for joining us again. We're still talking plenty right here on Big League Soccer. And it's time to talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria, who are on the verge of qualifying for the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia. Two gentlemen right here, Nuruddin Obalola and Kade Ogundare, were extensively involved in the two matches, both in Uyo and Yaoundé. Gentlemen, let's start with home. Let's stay home before we go away. The Super Eagles doing incredibly well at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium. Was a scoreline no one expected, considering the fact that they had struggled very badly against South Africa just a few weeks earlier. But it was the biggest ever defeat by the indomitable Lions of Cameroon at the hands of Nigeria. My question to you is, does that put to rest a lot of the injustices, as it were, that we suffered at the hands of Cameroon in the past? The 1984 Nations Cup loss, the 88 Nations Cup loss, the 2000 Nations Cup loss, and of course the 1989 World Cup tickets that we lost to Cameroon. Does this go some way in putting all that in rest, or they still have plenty to answer for?
If you ask me, I think what comes close is the 1989 World Cup ticket that we lost to them, because they were African champions in '88. They came and won the ticket right under our nose. Now they came to Uyo as African champions, and we actually told them that, hey, you guys won the AFCON because Nigeria was not there.
Because Nigeria didn't qualify.
Yeah, because we did not qualify. And like you said, nobody saw the scoreline coming. But today, if you were in the countdown to the game, you will know that the possibility of Nigeria winning was very, very high. Although, like I said, nobody thought it was going to be like a handball result like it turned out to be eventually. A whole lot of things came together and worked in the favor of the Nigerian team. the attitude of the players because they felt challenged, the arrogance of the Cameroonians. They came into town as if they owned Uyo. The NFF, for once, they got it right by planning ahead of time. The coach himself, he got his tactics spot on because everything he said at the pre-match conference were the things he did, and those were the things that led to all of the goals coming. And then you cannot discount the return of Mikel, Moses, and Balogun. Those three, no disrespect to the other players, were very, very outstanding for us. So it was a potpourri of factors that led to that big win.
Big win in Uyo. But going away to Yaoundé, Nurdin, you were in Yaoundé. You were there days before that game.
I actually watched the first leg.
Oh, you watched the first leg before you left for...
No, I watched the first leg
in Yaoundé. Oh, okay. So what was... so you were right in the midst of Cameroonians while you were watching the national team getting a 4-0 pace.
It was actually...
I hope you didn't jump up and celebrate at any point.
My celebrations were muted. I actually went to...
Things like...
I went to a small bar, maybe 10, 12 people. But it was actually funny because after they started very strong and these guys were looking at me, man, they were pitying me. I was agitated. What is it? So when we started scoring, the first goal was like... The second, it was the last one that I could not just but those guys took it very graciously. Okay. After the match, the guy that owned the bar, who was actually my friend, came up to me, shook my hand, and actually took a bow. Congratulations. You guys were fantastic. So it was good.
Gracious in defense.
But the most satisfying part for me was the commentary. Initially, the guys, I was on CRTV, Cameroon Radio and TV. The guys were going on about how Cameroon beat us with 84, 88, 2000.
The commentary was in English.
Yeah, it was English and French. It was bilingual. So they kept on and on. But when we started scoring, the guys forgot about the history. And at halftime, I actually took a snapshot of it. At halftime, the studio guys were looking like somebody shot their mom. It was really... So it was actually fun watching it. Because we were winning. If we had not won, I would have been seriously ashamed.
But the way Nigeria rolled into town in Yaoundé on that day... surprisingly, we always hear about how Francophone teams seem to give Nigeria and other Anglophone countries a very hostile welcome, but that wasn't the case, was it?
See, I think that was maybe it was a misconception. Maybe things changed, but at the point I felt like maybe I should just spend a few more weeks in Yaoundé.
Right.
Although the food wasn't.
All right. All right.
See, anywhere I walked into and told them I was a Nigerian, I was received very warmly. And that happened to the Super Eagles too. I mean, Mikel was, they call him Obi. Mikel was seriously mobbed. He was seriously shown a lot of love. And the whole thing, when they came to the hotel and there was a small crowd waiting for them, and they were just, there was no hostility at all.
No hostility, no rancor.
Nothing from the beginning to the end. Nothing.
Even after match, they were ended 1-1.
Nothing. Nothing.
Really surprising. But great result by the Super Eagles. If anybody had told us a few months ago that Nigeria would take 4 points off the champions of Africa, could have been 6 points actually, because the Super Eagles played so well in that second leg, could have won by as many as 2 or 3 goals. Unfortunately, profligacy in front of goal. But very quickly on that topic, Ikechukwu Ezenwa, standing goalkeeper for the Super Eagles. A lot of people have been either for or against his performance. Some blamed him for that penalty that he conceded. But on the overall, over 100, how would you rate him?
I'll give him a 65-70.
65-70?
Yes, exactly. There are still rough edges. You should expect that. But this guy has understudied other goalkeepers. He has been in the national team since 2015. He has understudied others. And when he got his chance, he seized it with both hands. And, hey, you can't play. Goalkeepers concede penalties.
Now, was that a penalty? Was he at fault for that penalty?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Fine. Nurdin, over 100?
75.
75.
Yeah. And I feel if there's a goalkeeping rank now, a hierarchy now, maybe he's not on a mass level. Ikeme is a bit higher, but after those two,
He should
he's,
be.
So he's clearly number 2 to Ikeme now.
Right.
That is if Ikeme comes back.
that's if Ikeme
But he's
comes
clearly he's clearly ahead of Akpeyi now.
Right
Exactly.
now,
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay, so as it stands now, Nigeria currently top Group B of the African qualifying series with 10 points, followed by Zambia, who surprisingly won away at Constantine away to Algeria, a very abysmal Algerian team that have only picked up 1 point in their last 4 games. Cameroon are effectively relegated, effectively eliminated from the World Cup race. Because they have only 3 points from 4 games. So it's down to Nigeria and Zambia. Nigeria face Zambia in Nigeria next month. I think the 7th of October. So it's advantage Nigeria, guys.
Exactly.
it should be.
It should be. And I think we can bring this home on the 7th of October. We don't need to wait until the last day and bulk our chances.
There's been so much talk. Do we need a win or do we need a draw?
See, for me, people will say we need a draw. Maybe they are not too comfortable.
They're looking at Nigeria's goals.
Yes, For me, I think the safe thing to do is to get a win, an outright win, and forget about whatever happens in Nigeria.
With an outright win, you can play. Probably say you're under 20 team in Nigeria.
Exactly. But when you play a draw here, that means you wait until the last game away, and Zambia can go home and play Cameroon. So for me, I think the best thing to do is just to win the 3 points. No matter regardless of the margin, even if we can play a 0.5 and just get our 3 points, that would be fantastic.
Like polo, right?
That would be fantastic.
Okay, let's put a rest to that now. Let's talk about key games in the English Premier League coming up this weekend as well. That is probably the biggest game, definitely, without a shade of doubt, is that Manchester City versus Liverpool game that will kick off in just a few minutes at the Etihad Stadium. Biggest game in England this weekend. But other games as well will be played still on Saturday. Arsenal, the much maligned, the much pilloried Arsenal, will be at home to Bournemouth. West Bromwich Albion will be away to Brighton and Hove Albion. Everton will take on Tottenham Hotspurs. Chelsea, defending champions, will be away at Leicester City. Southampton will go head-to-head with Watford. Stoke City will also face Manchester United. Interesting statistic, Manchester United haven't won on Stoke City in a long while. I think I will get correct figure for you, but I think it's as much as 8 seasons. While on Sunday, it's Burnley versus Crystal Palace, while Swansea will tackle Newcastle United. Well, guys, let's quickly move to that Manchester City game versus Liverpool. Interestingly, Manchester City, Liverpool and Chelsea all banded together to hire a private jet to bring their Brazilian contingent from Barranquilla in Colombia, where they went to play South American qualifier. On that jet, there was Ederson, goalkeeper of Manchester City. There was let's talk about Manchester City first. There was Gabriel Jesus. There was Paulinho and the goalkeeper Ederson. For Liverpool, there was Philippe Coutinho and Roberto Firmino. While for Chelsea, there was Willian. Big question, which is surrounding everyone now, which everyone is asking now, is will Philippe Coutinho play for Liverpool today?
He should. There's absolutely no reason why he shouldn't. He is still a Liverpool player, right? Last time I checked.
Has his back injury gone?
Well, it has to have gone. He played for Brazil.
So why was he in Brazil? Why was he in Brazil? So I think he should play. He should.
Maybe they have some miracle water in Brazil.
He should play.
That he either drinks or swims in.
Yeah, he should play.
But both teams have been pretty good. Well, especially Liverpool. They've been pretty explosive without their forward line. That's been a lot of people have regarded as the fastest forward line in the English Premier League right now. People are actually calling them Liverpool's Scuderia Ferrari. I don't know whether they want to start a Formula 1 team. But Manchester City are no slouches themselves. When you pay £50 million for 2 fullbacks each, you don't pay that kind of money and want to finish in the top 4. You want to win the title. And what better way by putting out a marker than beating a Liverpool that have won on their last 3 visits to the Etihad Stadium.
But City, I think City still need to gel a bit more. They've not really been convincing. As far as they beat Burnley, but they struggled. While Liverpool just absolutely demolished Arsenal.
There's still so much talk about whether Liverpool were that good or Arsenal were that bad.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, I think it's about the fact that the Liverpool front line have really gotten into their strides early enough. And when you see the quality on the front line, you know that you should expect. That is a given that Liverpool are always favourites, especially when they play against a team like Man City, who have not really gotten into their stride.
And the scary part is that Liverpool achieved all that without Philippe Coutinho.
Exactly.
Now he's coming back, potentially makes them more dangerous. But finally, guys, who do you think wins this one? Manchester City, Liverpool?
I'll go with Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Exactly.
Okay. Nuruddin?
I think it's too early for City to drop their to lose their first game. So I'm going to go for a draw.
For a draw. Safe bet from Nuruddin Obalola. So that's our show this fine Saturday morning. Thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen. Nuruddin Obalola, one of the finest writers in the Nigerian sporting scene, and also Kade Ogundare, another equally fine writer in the Nigerian sporting press. Thank you so much.
It's always a pleasure.
And more importantly, thank you for watching Big League Soccer. Program makes a return same time next week on this station. My name is Tunde Koiki, saying bye-bye.